everybody, and welcome to the Outback where we play TTRPGs and have a hoot. Today we're not playing one, we're just talking about it. Hey, hi, how you doing, Brando? What's up, Rytek? I saw you from earlier on. Howdy doody, how you doing? We are joined today. These names are big, but I added them last minute because I realized I don't have names. We do now. That's me. Hi, you can see. Look at that. My name fits right there. That's me. I'm Murray. Hi, I'm the innkeeper. Down over there is Smoky Night. I had to see where I was pointing first because I didn't know what direction it was going to go. And that one there is Benjigurber. What's up? They're the two other intrepid hosts. How are you both doing? I haven't seen you all year.
Oh boy,
Oh,
it's been lonely.
oh,
No, it's been good actually. It's been nice and rejuvenating.
good.
It's good.
Yes, multiple days off in a row has been nice, and I always like this time of year because it's the only time of year that you get two 3-day weekends back to back.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Oh yeah.
It's just always like that, and it's just kind of nice that you kind of get that, or it's often like that because when the holidays are around the weekend, so you get that extra little bit of off time, but
Fun
I've missed you
random.
guys. I'm sorry that I haven't been
It's
around so much.
okay. As you can all see, there's it looks different where you're at.
Mm.
Very
Yes,
different. So there might be
I
reasons to why they've been
yes,
they've been
I
occupied.
recently
They've been
moved
busy.
into a new place and also got a new job. And uh, I don't know if you knew this, but trying to get a new job and move into a new home during Christmas is stressful.
Mhm.
Mm.
I'm fine
Mhm.
though. I am absolutely fine. I'm not blinking an
For help.
SOS right now. I am not blinking for help. I am absolutely fine.
He's okay, everybody. It's fine. I need to add more light on myself because I look
But
like
no, it's
just
been
on
good.
floating head.
And I
There we
will
go.
be building more things. You will see more stuff, and it will become crowded, as you are very familiar with in my background. So we will get there. I'm trying. I'm
You're
trying.
doing great. We've missed you too. Journey when they missed you.
Yeah.
Although I think Ben and I think we've done the best we can to hold down the fort. Thanks for coming in and molding everything back together.
Yes.
Yeah,
It truly
that's
is
right.
a trio project.
It really
It's
is.
it's a menage a trois of D&D.
Menage a trois.
We
Mmm,
just need it.
menage a
Yeah,
trois.
I went there and I brought trips and a condom. Let's
Oh.
so what were we
Well,
talking about? I think you
we
were
I
introducing something, Murray.
yes, I was. I was saying hello to our wonderful sponsors. Ben, take it away.
Yes. Uh, I'm gonna try something a little different today. So.
Ooh.
Need guidance on life, auto, or homeowners insurance? Contact Kate Woolman State Farm for all your insurance needs. Rates can be more affordable than you think, and protecting what matters most to you is important. Call Ben at 719 539 6265, and I'll set you up with what you need. That's 719 539 6265. Yeah.
That was probably one of the sexiest voices I've ever heard you use.
Nice.
Well done. Wow.
That was really good. I think that it would be really interesting to create a new character every week or every
Oh,
Ooh.
that would be
episode
fun.
Hmm.
Like every week.
to read the do the read in.
Mm.
So on Sundays, I took to because the last few Sundays we streamed, we did a little mini series, and Ben wasn't part of that one. He had to you had to bow out, I think, the first time around because of your family
Hmm.
like surprising you for the holidays and such.
Yeah.
So I had to read off what that was, and I ended up just going like, "Someone give me a character." And Peter would randomly just shout out one of the characters. The last one he shouted out was that one kid. And I was like, wait, hang on, that one kid. you talking about Callus? I've only ever played one kid. And sure enough, it was Callus. So I had to read it off as
Oh,
Callus.
nice.
That's a fun idea. I like it, though. That was good.
Thanks.
State Farm, everyone. Thanks, Kate.
Yep.
You're awesome.
Thanks.
Why nervous? It works.
Mm.
Although I don't know if you all heard that.
I don't think I did.
Talking to the stream as well. Hey, stream, did you hear that? Because I did, and it was loud.
I needed a third monitor.
No? Oh, dear. I don't know where those sounds are coming from anymore. All right. Well, that's our official sponsor. Thank you, State Farm, for sponsoring us and believing in us. All that lovely, lovely dovelies. Other things, it's not a Bloodheim week this week. That is next time round. Half of the table, I do believe, are going to be doing other things, preoccupied. That and the time frame hasn't fallen on the right date yet, so that's next week. And I think it's just Sunday, really. Wait, no. It is Sunday, yeah, it's just Sunday. Come back on Sunday for our next little stream, where Peter is going to be hopping into the GM seat and GMing for a table, playing a bunch of homebrewed characters of his own, or homebrewed classes of his own. And the one word I would give it before even playing it, this is my genuine production, broken.
Oh, it's gonna be so fun.
Broken.
I love that.
It's going to be so
Love that.
beautiful because they're all broken. So it's going to be just great. And Peter's energy is going to bring that GM-ness that I think we're going to have a hoot. A real hoot and a half.
As somebody who's been playing a broken campaign for the last 3 years straight, that
That's
is
right.
so the first campaign that I ever started is my Saturday campaign,
Mhm.
and we have been playing consistently around a table together. No virtual, nothing like that, around a table together just about every weekend since the beginning of COVID, because we were all roommates. And it was my first experience with D&D, but it was built as a power trip. And I will say right now that I think one of a DM's, I think people are afraid of it and power creep and whatnot. But I think a seasoned DM loves a good, powerful group, because then they can just be like, "Hey, I'm gonna throw a Tyrannosaurus Rex, two Tarrasques. I'm gonna throw." This I'm gonna throw the kitchen sink, and I'm gonna throw three of them, and I'm gonna throw it at you. And you know what? You'll probably still somehow find some way to channel divinity or some shit your way out of this. So like, and honest to God, we're to the point where like we're starting to hit like level 19.
Oh,
Like we're
oh.
basically gods.
Th-
And
this
Yeah.
is Buddha, right?
yes,
Yeah, okay.
that's how broken
100%.
it
Yeah,
is,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And it's one of those campaigns, and
I want to experience
and
this.
and we just did, I can't remember what we did, but our cleric has hit their what is it when they ask their god to do a thing? Divine intervention,
That's it. That's it.
right?
Yeah, I was divine something. It's divine
They
intervention.
they have hit their divine intervention almost every single time they've used it.
Good
Oh, wow.
grief.
Almost every single time. He threw everything at us to destroy us, and by all rights, he was trying to start killing. He's been trying to kill people at this point. He's actively trying to kill us. Doing some so like, because he broke all of us, so he just does broken things that just shouldn't exist. And like he's like, "Oh, by the way, you guys can't cast right now. Sorry,
Hmm.
for any reason.
Like you just
That's just the
can.
way it is." Yeah, and just does shit like that because he can. And like we went and we all rights. We should have had multiple fatalities. And then all of a sudden our cleric just comes out, divine interventions it all away. So like I think as scary as power creep is, not to go on too big of a tangent here, as scary as power creep is, I love the idea of a broken campaign because I play a broken campaign and it is such a power trip because I get to go blow shit up, but then shit blows me up in a bad way.
Oh no.
Yep, not to go on too much of a tangent because we're talking about announcements still. So come on by on Sunday at the usual time, 3 p.m. MT, for a lovely power trip. That's another wonderful little term and phrase that we could use for it. Potentially,
Great.
potentially. It could also go the complete opposite way, and what we read into these the classes just not right. It all depends on the style. I'm excited for Peter's GMing, mostly. Not gonna lie. That's gonna be a hoot. That is happening on Sunday. We could go into the next week, but the only thing I'm really gonna mention is the biggest thing we've got going on, which is the start of our Fate Core miniseries. That is happening next week on the 12th of January. Mama Gecko over from the Geekier Night is coming over to GM for us. For three of us, myself, Michael Howards, and Zelda Elf 90 Studios. We're going to be hopping in, Michael Howards and myself being the brand new to Fate Core players, and Zelda Elf 90 Studios being experienced seasoned player under the tutelage of Mama Gecko. So, it's going to be fun. Time set inside their world. From the book, The Crimson Slums. I don't think I have a link for that. I need to get a link for that. You can check out the Geekier Nights for now. I do believe we can even just do a so for the Geekier Nights. Geekier Nights. It worked. So you can check them out. We're collabing with them for an entire 4-piece mini-series. They're going to be hopping back and forth between Fridays and Saturdays. I will have no shame. That is part because of me. I have an appointment on the following Friday that I will not be here for the European time frame that we need to operate by, because this is going to be a 12 p.m. MT start time on our wonderful sessions. And they're going to go for about 4 hours like normal, but they're going to be much earlier for the US-based people. Sorry, Mama Gecko's in Europe. Then going any later would be having them go into early morning time. We're not going to do that.
Don't need that.
Don't need that. It's going to be a hoot and a half. We're going to get more details as the time comes by closer. I think that's all my announcements. Yeah, that's it.
Oh, well.
So hey, what's up? How's life? You'll I have no idea where that was going to go. I was going to ask something TTRPG related. Any fun stories?
I binge watched the entirety of The Boys. That was
My.
pretty nice. Yeah.
It's a rough show.
If you've it is.
It's a binge watch,
There are
especially.
points when you like binge watch it that you're just like, oh, it's like all sandwiched together instead of
Oof.
like pacing you season by season when I originally watched it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But um, but yeah, I don't know. I literally did nothing, and it was really nice. Like, I don't know, just playing the new Castlevania DLC on
Ooh,
Dead Cells.
nice.
That's pretty nice. It's got like the background music is Castlevania, and I think some of the level design is too, because it's like the same level when you get to it for the DLC part. Because usually it's like projecturally like made. I don't know how that procedurally generated. I think is the
I think
word.
that's the right terminology, yeah, procedurally.
But but when you get to the Castlevania stuff, it like I don't know. It's just it really takes you back to that whole like Castlevania, Metroid kind of Super Nintendo era of platforming. It's really nice. But yeah, I've been trying to beat Cuphead, and that's been not so good.
I hear that game's
It is
rough.
hard, man. I've been stuck on the same level for like 2 years. Intense.
You've been okay, what's it, I think is intense of that sentence is you've been at it for 2 years and haven't stopped yet.
Yeah, I give it a crack every once in a while, and I did recently, and got kind of close, but we decided to take a break.
So I played, started replaying Conker's Bad Fur Day
Ooh,
not too
that's a
long
good
ago.
one.
Cause so my wife, cause her dad was worked at a game store most of her life.
Mm-hmm.
When we moved in together, he just gave her all of his old systems, all of them.
Mm.
Oh,
So we have
cool.
tons of old systems, tons of old games. And so I was playing Conker's Bad for a day, like on the N64 with
Oh, that's great.
on a cartridge. And the level I always get stuck on, and I have never, because I've never beaten the game, because I cannot get past the teddy bear grenade launchers
Mm.
or rocket launchers. Every time I try to go through and run through the teddy bear rocket launchers, I get dead, and that's like pretty far into the game. That's after you beat the Great Big Pooh. That's after you jump on plant titties. Like it's pretty far into the game. Conker's
That
Bad
game is
for a Day.
wild.
It
Good
was a
heavens.
kids game,
That was a kid's
kind of.
game?
I mean, it was
It
on a
was released
children's
on a children's console, kind of.
game console.
Yeah. So it's, like the
Hmm.
Nintendo 64, what else did it even have? I mean, it had Doom, like Doom 64.
Yeah, I mean, it had lots of
I think it had
games.
Resident Evil.
So,
Yeah, well, it
But
had
Conker's Bad Fur Day
Perfect
came
Dark.
from Rare, and Rare made like Donkey Kong and like Banjo and Kazooie and
Yeah,
like
they
those
did.
types of games, and then all of a sudden, here's Conker. It's like
Actually, Conker has a
irreverent.
really good backstory. Yeah, but it was a chance, and it just became a cult classic. You know,
oh,
it was
I
a good.
love
It's a
games
great
like
game. I love.
that.
If you've never played Conker's Bad Fur Day, man, you gotta try it. So speaking of old consoles, though, my my madre, um, sent me a surprise gift for kind of. So my birthday is December 31st. So it's always kind of a close to Christmas thing. It's been that way my entire life. Um, so I often would get from my parents like a gift between the two.
Oh
But
crap, that
you
was
know, sometimes it'd
that was
be
2 days ago. Happy
substantial,
belated
but
birthday.
it was. Oh, thank you. I'm 35 now. Yay, mid 30s. Yeah. Mhm. But so but my mom sent me a real big surprise. She sent me a Nintendo Switch,
Oh.
which was
Dang,
like,
that's cool.
yeah, no, right. Like, I mean, I haven't gotten like gifts from my parents like that in a long time, but my mom just retired and we've been talking on the phone a lot. And I guess she heard that, like my wife has had one. I got her one years ago and she plays all these games and I just never play on it because I'm not much of I'm not a huge handheld gamer, but like, I don't know. The Switch seems kind of fun and I play on hers here and there. And so she got me one, and one of the things that comes with the online service if you purchase it is access to N64 games and Game Boy games. So like
Mhm.
I've been playing like I'm such a dumbass because I am a guy who got a $400 console so that I could go and sit there and I sit there and play Game Boy version Tetris in bed or um
That's great.
I got I got my wife there is a Bluetooth version of the N64 controller that you can hook up to your Switch,
Ooh.
and it's a thing that every once in a while Nintendo sells, but they sell out so fast and then they're super expensive, but I was able to get my hands on one. So like I can play on my Switch um like Wave Racer or like 1080, which was a snowboarding game, or like
I think I remember 1080.
1080. Yeah, it's the big snowboard. There's another one, Goldeneye.
Oh heck yeah.
Like I can play the old N64 games on an N64 controller that's wireless for my. So I've been playing retro games and whatnot for the last little bit, but um my wife bought me some games since my mom got me that. So I got a copy of Mario RPG, the new one, how it's remastered,
Oh yeah,
Ooh.
the
that one looks
remastered
good.
version. Right, because we used to own a copy, and my wife, it was one of the games that my wife's dad didn't give us. So like we have everything to play it, and it was the one game that we didn't have. So I've played it on emulators, and that's one thing, but like the rematch, so she got me the remastered version, and then we started playing that, and then Palladia, which is a new MMO. It's a free MMO. It's like only like 2 or 3 weeks old. Palia, Palia, I think. And it's only like 2 or 3 weeks old. It's a very, but it's not a fighter MMO. It's
Huh.
more like Harvest Moon. If Harvest Moon was an MMO,
Oh
Okay,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
Palia is a game.
yeah,
He needs to
yeah,
get
yeah.
turned too.
That's kind of what I've been doing over the break was now that work is kind of slowed up and I've had a little bit of a chance to a little bit of a chance to start relaxing. Um my
Hydrate
wife was like,
everyone.
"Hey, there's this free to play game. It's an MMO. You should come play with me." I'm like, "Oh, sweet. Are we like going and like killing things or will you like go and questing?" She's like, you're farming." I'm like, okay, cool, but
Okay.
like then we can like ride horses and go like shoot. Well, you get a bow and arrow and you can like shoot a deer every once in a while, but you have to get a headshot, otherwise they just run away. It's like, so
Gotta
what are
be
we
a good
doing?
shot.
But admittedly, I've been like grinding because you can just grind the shit out of this game. So I'm like a super grinder on games.
Mm,
I won't even read the text. I don't even
super
give a fuck. I will
grinder.
sit there and grind materials and grind and grind and grind. So I've been sitting there grinding my house and like all of these like little quest lines and whatnot just to catch up.
Wait,
And
you.
that's literally all I've been doing with my free time is just like I pull out the Switch and I'm just like I
That's
need
amazing.
to water the plants.
So is it
Oh
like a
man.
Harvest Moon type game?
Kind of. It has a bunch of features that are still coming out. It's very much it's almost like it's beta is what it feels like.
Hmm.
Hmm.
But so you start off as a human, but you like kind of evaporate or like apparate out of thin air in this like temple, we'll call it. And like people are sitting there, there's some other species. They're like, "Oh, hey, whoa, like you came out of nowhere. Like the other humans didn't do that when they and like there's only a few actual humans around, and you yourself is kind of a mystery.
Hmm.
But like there's a bunch of backstory that I'm still learning about, so I don't have a whole lot of information of what the actual story is yet. Because I've only have like maybe 14 hours into the game. Um,
Okay.
but like you can have relationships with people, kind of like Harvest Moon. You can you have a plot of land that you just get, and you can expand it over time.
Nature's
You can
vow?
sell things to get
Silicon
recipes and
valley?
craft. It's it's like all of like the MMO of the crafting and the social ability and a little bit of hunting, a little bit, but without any of the like fighting mechanics.
Hmm.
So far, we don't know if it's going to be added. There are still spaces on which I could put things that could be a weapon.
Yeah, yeah.
I just don't know because it's not filled yet.
Huh.
So
Hmm.
it's an interesting it is the most like my wife I think said it best. It is a comfy MMO. You
Comfy.
could just sit there and grind, and if you walk away from it, when you come back, it's still there for you. Nothing's just gonna die because you weren't there for the day. Like you just
Nice.
come back to it and it's fine. And it's like you're not going to like you don't have to go on raids or anything because that's not a thing. Like if you group up with your friends and you start doing quests, you get rewards together.
Cool.
Nice.
It is the sweatpants of MMOs.
The
It's like
sweatpants.
everyone else
That
is
does
coming
sound
around,
comfy.
measuring how fancy their clothes are, how fancy their skills are, or whatever, and this one just comes out with these lovely little sweatpants. Obviously, a home T-shirt that's probably got a couple of holes in it, and it's like, "Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, it's
I'm
just
comfy."
well, and the thing is that it's a free to play. There is no pay to win function, but
Hmm.
all of the pay stuff is just cosmetic. You can buy cosmetics, all sorts of different cosmetics if you'd like to, and they're really fucking expensive too. And if you want them, you can get them, but they're completely irrelevant to the game. There is zero anything other than like it's cool to have
Hmm.
if you want it, and that's it so far. Well, that's a good game. If you have a Switch,
Do it too.
add me, Smoky Nate, always.
Nice. I might do that. I might check it out.
Yeah, no, check me out. Check it out and send me a friend code. I'll have to post my Nintendo friend code for everybody to add me because apparently I can have friends now. I wasn't allowed to
Nice.
have friends before because I didn't own a Switch, and everybody knows you can't have
Friends.
friends if you don't have a Switch.
It's like back in the
Because you
day.
don't have a friend code.
What was it? Like almost 15 years ago now, when people were saying if you're not friends on Facebook, you're not actually friends.
MySpace.
MySpace.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, MySpace
MySpace
too.
taught a generation of kids HTML without them knowing it,
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
which is hilarious.
How to teach people without actually teaching them. Make them do it
Dude,
accidentally
make it
and
a
tell them
social
it's
experiment.
normal.
Tell them it's a social thing and that their friends will like them more if they could write this HTML code to make this one little web page look pretty and sing to them.
Make it
That's
so
literally what it
great.
was. It was literally
It was so dope though.
it was dope as
Not
fuck.
gonna
Like
lie.
MySpace, look, dude, fucking, you know what? You know what? Like Tom was too good for this world. Tom was too good for
Yes,
us.
he
I'll die on
was.
this hill.
MySpace Tom.
MySpace was way better than Facebook. Facebook fucking blew, man. Like I don't know. I'll die on that hill.
This is
Like
the case
MySpace was
of
way
the early
better.
bird may have gotten the worm, but the second mouse got the cheese, and the cheese is so much better.
Well, the problem was that Facebook was literally about college kids having sex, and sex sells.
Mm.
Facebook had become a place of where high schoolers were on, and Facebook was a place where the college kids were at, and that's where all the high schoolers wanted to be. So,
Hmm.
oops.
And then
Wah,
everyone's
wah.
mothers and grandmothers joined.
Yes, and then it wasn't about that anymore, and OnlyFans was formed. Check out Lily's OnlyFans. It's great.
Yes, I feel.
The faster, the
I just need to
furriest.
start telling children to get off my lawn. Fuck me.
The feathered
Sorry.
fur.
What?
The furry feathered. The feathered furry? No, that's not right. Well, okay, so on that lovely note, I think we should divert maybe a little bit from our just chatting portion, which we've had some just lovely just chatting going on right now. It's great. Ben mentioned there was a feature on ChatGPT that we think was recently added, because neither of us thought it could do that. Because last time in December we visited it and we read inside the description that it couldn't do this, and now
And
it
it
can.
explained that it couldn't, and instead created a description of a drawing rather than an actual drawing. But we wanted to get a visual element today because I guess they've incorporated Dolly into there.
Yeah, you can
Uh,
start sharing that screen for us. It's going to mess up our screens for just a moment, everyone. Then I'll get it fixed. I could actually just.
God damn it, Murray.
There
Why
we
can't
go.
you be perfect?
Because I'm a human being, and humans are not
You are a
perfect.
bean.
I'm a delightful being, aren't I?
I wonder if Dan will draw us different things.
Ooh.
That's
I
what
feel
I want to
like
know.
Dan might draw us things
Will
that could
Dan
get us
break
banned.
copyright?
I think
Dan break
Dan might
copyright?
break TOS.
I think Dan, yeah, I really
know.
think Dan could break
I'm
TOS.
just warning you that.
Maybe
I
I would
don't
be
know.
we should
cautious
just
on
operate
that.
within the confines of what
Dan is
Yeah.
ChatGPT
really
suggests.
edgy, and Dan will let you know that he's edgy all day long.
It's like, oh, you
So
don't want
That'll
to
be an
see a dick on
experiment that I
here?
do
Oh,
on
then
my
let me
own.
show you.
yeah, you might wanna proofread
I'll have to
that one before we
change.
release it out.
Proofread. Oh god.
I'd have to change our description
Okay.
from just chatting to art.
That's right. That's right. This is experimental art.
This is experimental. Oh, we're not touching that.
Please don't.
Are you to make a drawing?
Oh, drawing.
I have a habit of double tapping words.
I've started doing that recently as well.
So what? Let's
Like
see.
3 words back. It's never normal. Yes, I can generate an image for you. Please provide a
Okay,
detailed
so,
description of
hold
what
on.
you'd like to create.
Let's see. 18.
So can it do anything? Like
It says it can.
so if I wanted it to do like a
As long as it's not copyrighted, just be vague in your description of it.
well, like so for example,
Mm-hmm.
one of my last D&D characters was this Aarakocra Propsy. She was an armorer artificer,
Mm-hmm.
which allowed her to kind of like fly around while having like some pretty hardcore armor on, which was hilarious. So she was a
Okay.
little 4-foot tank, which was great. Could she make character art for me? Or could this
Okay.
make character art
Make
for me?
a D&D character. How do I spell? You said Aarakocra?
Yeah, AAROC.
AROCO.
Hey. Hold on, I have to look up it.
Aarakocra.
It's a very, very
CRA?
strange spelling.
It's a strange thing.
CRA?
Hold on, what's that?
Aarakocra? Is
It's
there a K?
AARAKOCRA.
That's it.
KCOA?
No, so AARAKOC
RA.
RA.
Alright.
It doesn't look right
Aarakocra.
until you read it out, yeah.
Ah,
Uh,
you D&D Aarakocra female?
with lab coat. And gauntlets. Because she was the armorer, right? Let's just
What
see
kind of
what we
background?
get. Background would be let's see how specific we can get. Barovia.
Ooh.
Barovia?
Yep.
Barovia?
Think so?
Okay.
I don't know, people. This is why I play in my own world. Which I still
Let's
can't
try
even
Yeah,
that.
spell.
Barovia. Barovia. That's correct.
Yeah.
Let's try it.
Yeah, let's see.
It's thinking.
I'm a
It's
thinking.
thinking.
It's
Oh.
creating the image, which is a good sign.
It hasn't kicked it out yet. I'm excited.
Yeah.
It was a Raven Erico, Chris, so that I forgot to mention that, but we'll see what they got. Okay. Oh no way!
You know,
That
not
looks
bad.
so fucking badass. That
It's
is so
actually
good.
Barovia.
pretty good.
That's good. Can you ask
Interesting.
it to revise it to make it a raven?
Revise it to
Make a raven Aarakocra?
I am going to copy and paste that word.
Yes, I would. Yeah, let's see.
Well, it's
Oh, it
making the
immediately-
image.
Oh, goodness gracious me. Do you know if you can
You
find...
might have to send me some things. This changes so many. This makes... Wow. Okay.
The thing is, it's pretty... Oh, damn.
It kept the gloves even. That's an interesting choice.
I like how it takes... I'm pretty sure it's taken the word lab coat and it's made it more of a sleek, lab-like looking like creature. Like, it looks like they belong in a lab. But at the same time, it kind of
But
depends...
this man, I am so blown away. I need copies of this. If you can download and send, I need
Make the character more hunky.
More
more
hunky.
hunky.
Ooh.
What are
see
you
it.
doing to my prophecy?
We're breaking it, yeah? Because I've done
Yes.
things like this. So I will do things like this with Midjourney on Discord.
Mhm.
I'll never use them like officially or anything, but I always like to create images. Oh, that did not work at all.
You fucked my shit up so bad. Why?
You messed it up.
I now no longer am one with the Raven.
Now you've got Bruce
Oh.
Banner looking like he's dead, standing in the middle of an image with a raven hanging over his shoulder. But I'll create images
that.
of characters,
I will.
like make sure they're solid in my head, and that I know what they look like. Fix that, ew.
Let's adjust the concept. It's so friendly. God damn it. Provide more details or specific changes. Make it guide brush 3 wood.
Oh, that's a good idea. A mimic pretending to be a Korak.
Writing.
Yeah, I saw that. I was thinking about that.
Oh. Make
Great
it
tack.
Should we start?
mimic pretending to be a Kodak. Let's see if it will create a new image or if it will somehow
Operate off the- I
retain
was
these
wondering.
strange hulky
Right.
raven.
I was wondering if you're gonna
Because you kind of
doing that on
said make
purpose.
it, so that's
Yeah.
what I was wondering.
Oh, look at Ben being that English major and playing with language the way he does. Oh,
Ha!
that's a creepy Cheshire cat.
Hi. That is.
Hello, my lad. How are
unsettling.
you? Would you like to play?
Designed to blend into a dimly lit room.
Oh, this gives me
Interesting.
ideas. This gives me dangerous ideas.
That is a great little description as well. This
Mhm.
is brilliant. This is dangerous.
The description
This
bit's not something you get with other ones I've used. This is cool.
Is ChatGPT 4 a paid for service now?
Yeah. Unfortunately.
That makes
No,
sense.
Chat GPT 3
I think-
is still.
Yeah, 3.5, yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Any more suggestions from the audience?
Oh, yeah. Let's see what else we got. Oh, sweet Jesus. That's facts.
Let me see a picture of a sweet honey baked pie.
My. A small gnome with a huge beard piloting a large steampunk mecha.
Ooh, look at that sweet honey baked pie.
Look at the handle. Look at the handle.
We baked the handle
It's
into the
fucked up,
pie.
It's baked into the
Handle's fucked up.
And
pie.
it's like clipped down.
I love it.
Bound into the image.
Look, okay, also look at the cracks. The cracks almost looks like hexagons.
Like, oh wow.
Like you'd see in
That's
a
interesting.
honeycomb.
Like honeycombs.
Like honeycombs, yeah.
That does look like a really good pie, though.
It does. Like, nice little crystal.
Create an image of a small gnome with a huge beard.
That's where you capitalize the first letter, right, Ak?
Piloting
The English language.
a large
It's fun, isn't it?
steampunk. There we go. We were getting there. Damn, now I want that pie. That's all I can think about.
It looks tasty.
You did that to
I just know
yourself.
my lack of sweet toothness. He looks so adorable.
Oh,
It's like he's gonna peacefully go to war. Oh boy, look at me! I'm going to war again. Ha 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 ha.
I'm gonna blow you up.
As he commits genocide.
Oh,
Oh, good.
that was a giant building with a lot of people in it.
Oh, the tall people.
Oh,
All
good.
of them are gone now. Yay!
For 2-piece McNugget.
Maybe if we say make it fierce, make it mean, make it angry, make it fierce.
Make it mean. Make it angry.
Oh gosh, it
see.
actually took it.
It's like, all right.
Boy, took it hard.
Hard, long, and fast.
Is
I
this
actually
gonna
have
be
the
like the
sound bite for
Ogwai gremlin situation?
There we go.
Good gnome.
Oh,
his
there we go.
evil,
Now he's
his
looking
evil
angrier.
nemesis. So angry. He's got cracks in his head. And his steampunk mecha looks so sinister.
It's all pokey and biting them. Look at the change of the difference.
I feel like they could be battling each other on the actual field, but
Well,
it would be so
that's
sad
right.
because they're all so adorable. Their deaths are
That's-
so
that's-
sad.
Well, so they were friends, right? They grew up as friends, and they ended up on either side of the conflict. And now, like, we're questioning what the idea of a true villain is.
They both think they're the villain.
Right.
Yikes.
Oh boy.
I like how they changed his arm into an entire gun as well. And they still gave him a scope. Look at that. He can even aim.
Oh yeah. Or is that like? Is that attached to his arm, or is? I can't see the rest of his arm. I feel like that is his arm.
I feel like that's his arm. I'm gonna choose to believe that's his arm.
Same. I think it's cool.
This is really good though. This breaks some rules. I can this breaks some things.
Now, here's the double check though. These are obviously generated images. If it follows most of the all the other algorithms, it generates it using other images. Does it give you a list of where it pulled the sources from?
I
Because
don't think so.
there are places in the world now that if you use any of these images for any commercial reason, you need to have a list of where they pulled the sources to generate the image, accompanying the use of that image.
I wonder. I want to see how many images it takes to make an image.
I'm curious about that as well. I want to know how many it takes, because if it takes like over 1,000,
3,000.
the similarities are going to
Okay,
be
so
fairly
easy
limited.
bypass. If you can take this photo and take it to a artist and have them do a recreation, but make edits to it. Now it's gone back to just the one source, and now it's just the one thing.
Yes, but then you're paying for it again.
I mean, absolutely, but you're not paying for an original idea. You're literally paying for a recreation.
Don't tell the
I
artists;
see
they
what
might
you're
catch
saying.
on to that. But here's that. Okay, no,
I mean, if you have an
actually,
artist that's cool with it,
if you do, but not to dig that the wonderful debate on the uses of these AI generated things on, because we usually try to avoid things like that because we try not to get heated in debates like that. Leave it for other places. We just like experiencing new tech and fun toys. This is new tech and fun toys.
Yeah, I had no idea until what was it? A few days ago. Well, a few days ago I was in disbelief because my friend showed me this Digimon character that he had made that was like through the whole chat GPT process, and I was like, dude, what are you talking about? I've used I pay for chat GPT. I have never been able to generate images. And so it wasn't until we got on today and kind of messed around with it. It won't do copyrighted things, we found out. So we tried to get a.
Like use direct copyrighted
Yeah.
references and character names, and it said no, none of those.
Yeah. It was interesting, but understandable.
There could also be the other way around, not having to list sources.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Interesting.
What a fun subject.
Do we want to do one more search?
Yeah, chat, give us one more search. Maybe someone other than Rytak. Love you, buddy, but you've given us a few. It does have a 40k Walker style look in the background, doesn't it?
Let's see.
while we're waiting for something, I just want something, because it's something that I've been wanting to see for a long time.
Ooh.
And that is, if you could quote me, what if bananas were blue and could fly?
Ooh.
There's a story behind this, but I want to see it. I might need you to send this over to me. So the story, while this is generating, the story is my first anxiety attack happened in front of my now wife when we were first starting to date around like 16 years ago. And to snap me out of it, because I kept on spiraling, she was like, "Baby, stop thinking about what you're thinking about." She said, "Instead, think about what if bananas were blue and could fly." And I've always wanted to know what that would look like, and I'm not disappointed. I won't
I'm
lie.
not disappointed.
I'm not disappointed. This isn't what I had in my head, but I
I
am
love the
going
people
to
down here
just
just gathered around to look at the bananas flying.
It's like the migration.
I just screen capped that so I can send it to my wife.
I like how one of them as well is not blue, and it's just very
He's just
obviously
like, hey
yellow up there.
guys. Yeah, the one yellow banana.
The
in
one
whole
yellow
picture.
banana.
Poor guy.
Fly to the nanas.
The strange tentacle banana over here. I don't know what's going on right there.
That's Cthulhu popping through the veil.
Yeah, that's okay. Okay.
That's cool.
Well, now it's responding to questions with images. Ask it a question.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Ooh.
What would it look like if a Kaiser roll ate a pile
Flying
of
toaster screensaver.
toaster strudels?
Ooh.
Question mark.
Flying toaster screensaver. Okay. I think it's the surrealism. What?
The Kaiser roll is actually a toaster, but it's eating toaster strudels. Man, the Kaiser roll is like a roll, but is mechanized. Has become one with the toaster strudels. I don't know what's going on with this image.
Kind of disturbs me.
This is what happens when drugs do drugs.
When drugs do drugs.
I think
When drugs do other harder drugs, this is what you get.
it's the teeth. They're
When
misaligned.
drugs do other harder drugs.
For science.
Wait, what happens when drugs? Oh, he's just. Oh my. Oh.
Well, that was
we
a
just-
good description there. Now make me an image about it.
Okay, so that's what it's called. It's giving us a lesson. I can't create. Ah, you know what? There you go.
Okay.
It knows
You
its
can, we do it.
bounds. I bet you Dan would
It's
do it, not
saving us.
something we're experimenting with today.
We'll check that out another time.
Maybe another day.
Yeah.
Ah, well, if you all need an image creator thingy out there, and you have the need for description to accompany it as well. Oh, I just got rid of that screen and it just popped us into this one. There you go, you can get. Here we go. Hi, hey.
Do you want me to get my thing down?
Phrasing. That's what she said. Hey, Spooky, go to your right. Lean to your right. Oh, he just took his. Oh, I think he's about to be on a phone call. That's actually good timing for a little breaky.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a phone call. So you can see me in Smokey's screen right now, but we're gonna go on a quick little breaky here, seeing as we have hit that hour mark. Hey, and
There we go.
it's that time. But yeah, ChatGPT, go check it out with the new image creation stuff. That's really cool. I really like that. Yeah, we'll be right
It's
back.
pretty interesting. That's for sure.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It's definitely.
Hello there. As a guest of the Owlbear Inn, you obviously have taste. Now, as a person of taste, have you ever thought to yourself, I need to watch an artist who also has taste, with a sense of classiness and intelligence, heightened by sitting in a leather armchair before a fireplace with shelves of books behind? Neither have I. Anyways, I happen to have an art channel called Michael How Arts here on Twitch if you want to check it out. There's drawing, chatting, and sometimes gaming. If you enjoy fantastic characters and comics, or just having someone to hang out with while doing art, you should give Michael How Arts a look-see. That's twitch.tv/Michael How Arts. And if you visit, maybe, just maybe, you'll occasionally have that artist sitting in front of a fireplace to give you a +1 for the richness and culture of your Twitch experience. Though I wouldn't count on that. But please, do stop on by. Thanks for your time, and have a wonderful day.
I'm Michael Howe, and I approve this message. Oh, you don't believe me? Well, I did this, and 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 this.
Hello, everybody.
Fine
All
store.
campaign, all I wanted was to pass wisdom saving throws, and I never do.
Even with advantage?
I have advantage. I have plus. All my feats almost have all been going into that direction. No.
Oh, that's awesome.
Consent is always important.
Agreed.
You're next.
Why am
totally
I
not dead.
so bad at this game? Jeez.
Might be genetics.
Attack first. Think never. Hey, folks.
You feel a definite pulse of magical energy as you shake his hand.
You just made a deal with the devil.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Roll a will save.
There's more up there? We have to... I fucking hate this level.
We could have been playing Valheim. Dog, dog, dog. Save me, save me. Where are you? Get in front of me. Get in front of me. Get in front of me.
I'm coming. I was marking the cave.
Dogs. I'm gonna stand up. Ah! Get the dog. Help.
Hello, folks.
There. Apparently, I can't remember your name at all.
Who's Ingrid?
You.
You.
Me?
Irving.
Oh.
Yes, because I can't think. Wow. Why am I having such a hard freaking time with names today?
You called me Murphy twice before
Yeah.
we even started.
Shut up, Melvin. I'm working here.
Alrighty, naked.
That's a good drawing, right? Damn, right, Zach, that's good.
Good. Oh my gosh.
Love it.
Thank you.
Wow.
With someone.
Wait, you just said they had a book.
That being
Yes.
said, we will.
Yes.
And then you emphasize that there is a book.
Holy! Way to catch on to that like a minute and a half late. There's books, there's diaries, there's maps.
Wait, there's a book? We have not been consistent with this at all, have we?
No.
I'm not even gonna try and pronounce most of those. Wow.
Yeah, they had a sale on apostrophes that day.
Hello, everybody.
I don't know what's really going on. Hi!
We have you on speakerphone.
I was just gonna say, this is one hell of a collect call, man. I didn't know he knew Infallible Relay.
Does anyone know what the rates are? I don't have that much gold.
Did you know back in the old days, in the medieval times, they used to put lanterns, hang lanterns out on front of horses to help them navigate during nighttime?
Oh.
It was the first recorded instance of satellite navigation.
I enjoyed the live action The Avatar movie.
Oh, baby Baba Luba. And burble as it came.
No!
Can I get a oh yeah?
Oh yeah?
Oh yeah.
If you're only to be addressed as you, as your own person, what do I do if there's like a whole bunch of y'all?
You may use titles as, I would say, the trolls. You may use the consequences if
Okay.
you would like.
So
You
y'all
may-
is off the table.
Y'all is an abomination.
A whole bunch of y'all.
Too late.
That's when you guys look over and see what once was Jitters descend slowly onto the ground, trampling towards you as its head from top to about past the sternum splits like that into a toothy maw that is its whole body. Rawr. Hello and welcome to Hate, Laugh, Love.
Everybody knows if it's green and it's slime,
You went that
it's
way.
booger time.
The show where we talk about movies.
He starts hopping on the way, and when you look back, there's Handor and Grace. Grace looking just frowning perpetually, and Handor just smiling ever so gracefully. And Finestorm, you see on their lips, Handor say, "You think they'll make it?" And Grace go, "Not a chance." Something about blue? Hello there, and welcome back. Hope you enjoyed the break.
shoes.
TTRPG chat. Always up for illuminating TTRPG chat. Illuminating, that's a fun word. Let's rage. Rage! I would like to rage.
Well, we did just get through the chat GPT part and into the TTRPG part.
We did. We like to ask chat GPT funny questions and see what they come up with.
Yes.
Oh, Michael Howards. Hello there. How are you doing? Against the dying of the light. Ah. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. I don't actually know that song. I think I've heard of it, but don't know it. This is the Game of Stone section where usually I'm prepared with something, But I just got back from holiday and I'm not prepared with something. I do apologize. So instead, we're going to talk about Fate Core again.
Fate Core.
Fate Core. How do you all feel about the idea of designing a character solely around a concept and using that to then go on and determine what other kinds of features, skills, talents they might have? We'll call it a high
What do you
concept.
mean by concept?
Like, okay, so let's pick one of your characters. What's their major goal? What defines them?
Well, so let's talk about one that we've referenced a lot, right? Smasher.
Smasher. Yeah, that's a good one.
Smasher was a really interesting character in that he was a blank slate that his purpose was to find purpose, right? That
Mhm.
was kind of his. He was along for the ride until he wasn't, right? You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Like you might define that in a way of saying finding my purpose or finding a purpose.
Well, because when we built him, the idea was that I was giving you a lot of power. Like, I mean, part of it was me being lazy, but like my concept, if we wanted to call that, was like I we need a tank. I
Mhm.
think playing a Warforged in this world would be cool. What if? And I was bouncing ideas off of you, and then we kind of agreed
Vaughn.
that you would have all of my backstory, and I would be able to just kind of be along for that ride to some extent, which was really kind of a cool, if you want to call that a concept. And then he was built entirely around that idea.
Mhm. So you would take something like that, like your desire for the character, or where you think, kind of like where you think they might stand in the view of themselves at the start of where you're standing, or the start of the campaign. You'd make that your high concept, and you would build your character basically around that. You would then go into the trouble, like what you think the most difficult feature would be, most difficult aspect to conquer would be, and then possibly even define a few more aspects about them.
Okay.
That's essentially the Fate Core character creation, is you're diving into the character of them and then going out from there with the idea of, well, would this character, would they have the strength level? Because you're not rolling anything for this. You're literally deciding everything. And there is a skills base, so like there's a skills ladder where you'll get certain bonuses because everyone is talented in their own ways and the things that they've practiced out with. Like, yeah, I can't play the piano anymore that well anymore, but I can easily turn this computer on and get it ready for a stream very, very easily. It's like a muscle memory at this point. 3 years ago, I couldn't do anything sound related. Arguably, I still can't. But I know a lot more.
Sound is so
So,
tricky.
your skills will increase, and so there are some aspects to go along with rolling, but most of it is dealing with these concepts, and you'll hear frequently in the gameplay. You probably will, because I have a feeling Michael Howard is going to do the same as me. Is as soon as we figure out what the other characters' aspects are, you can invoke that aspect. Like you can challenge that character, be like, I think you would actually do this, but it costs like a fate coin to do that. Or you're giving someone else a fate coin, you're giving the GM something. Fate coins are a little currency aspect that gives you power over the GM, or even the GM power over you.
Okay, so this is a very Kids on Brooms sort of deal.
I think the same company makes them.
Okay, that makes sense because
Publishes them at
kids
least.
Kids on Bikes or Kids on Brooms, depending on what version of the game you're playing, does a very similar thing where if you're rolling and you like fail at a thing, you can start getting like tokens, and you can build those tokens up to basically even out a roll.
Kind
And
of.
when you're rolling for
Yeah.
things, you it, you're not rolling for like damage or something.
Mhm.
Like you're rolling for story. and if you don't make the roll, the DM gets to narrate. But if you do make the roll, you get to narrate. But like if you like over make the roll, now like maybe one of the other players gets to narrate, or the GM takes back over and goes like, okay, well, I'm gonna yes and the thing you say because something else has to happen. You get what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
it's a
And it's
lot of
all
yes
very
anding.
story based and less like there are roles, but it's it's much more story based.
Much more story based.
Okay, very interesting. Very interesting. I like
It's
that.
very much collaborative storytelling, basically. And it even says, like, hey, the GM is responsible for the world, the lore of the world, the revealing of the plotline and the story, but they really should be like that narrator in a film that you never see, that just kind of hovers over everything while the main characters do their thing, and then just randomly voices the characters that you see for maybe 2 minutes on the screen. And then the characters keep doing their thing. But they're also but it's a TTRPG, so so no video stuff. So the narrator's also describing the scene out loud. So most of it's the description of the scene, telling them where things are to give them the option to be able to, like, you described 3 crates over there. I'm going to use them for leverage to do my leap and do this, like, somersaulting kick to this guy's face, and to help narrate your own actions. And it will even go like, if you can't come up with a name or come up with an NPC, ask the table. Those are literal words inside the rule book. GMs, don't be scared to ask the table. I lost count on how many times they referenced that. That's the system we're using soon for our next miniseries.
I like what Zaxamillion says about how collaborative it seems like his process, their process is.
True.
I don't know. I like that.
Executive director.
Yeah. Writing and acting roles, so everything's collaborative towards an overall epic. So it's kind of leaning in the direction of that, like what is your concept? Like, what is driving this character to be this character? And I think that forces more interesting storytelling.
Well, right. I don't necessarily. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just at a good table, and that kind of blinds me. Like I'm spoiled. I, man, I've been at a table with friends, like a really solid group of people, and some old school players for the last like 3 years. So I can definitely tell you I'm spoiled. But like a lot of the things that like some of these other systems that I've seen recently, because my first experience with any TTRPG was D&D, and then like I've heard of all of this stuff since, and like I've seen some of it played out, whether on like online on like Dimension 20 or other like D&D podcasts, things like that, or just talking to Murray because he loves digging into this shit. Um, I've seen a lot of these, but yep,
Because you told me to
kids
get
on
it.
Because right, I told you, right, because we had that conversation, right,
Yep.
right. But I like the variation that they give you on how to do the same thing, because at the end of the day, really, it's all the same thing, right? D
It
and
really
D
is, yeah.
is a little bit more numerically grindy, for us nerds, but like it's really at the end of the day no different than the kids on brooms. It's really like especially the way we play. It's we talk we joke about people's names and then like shit sticks. Like we collaborate
Yeah.
and NPCs get named. We try to specifically dig at each other's stories and we listen and we talk, and I think that if you have a good group, a lot of the things that these things foster aren't needed. But on the flip side of that, if you haven't been as spoiled as someone like me, it's really nice to have some of these other I guess indie style of gaming systems that enable players to do the thing that a lot of tables won't just aren't cool with. You know, a lot of tables want to micromanage and be about the numbers and about the rules, where like kind of fuck rules, man. Story like trumps rules any day of the week. I don't give a fuck. Like in the D&D manuals it says, "Hey man, this shit's fucking guidelines. Like
Yes.
disregard it at any given time for like the right
Every
reasons. Like have fun
every
with it." Like
single
it says it in the damn thing. You know
every
what I'm
single
saying?
manual I have read says that. All of them do. At some point in the book, they directly state these are really guidelines. These are the base rules for how you might want to play this game. We're giving you a foundation. Change it how you want.
Right.
This is your game and your story to tell. You do what you would like.
Right. At the end of the day, like it's such a trope. It is such a dumb geeky thing to say, but like the only real good way to win at D&D is like to have fun with your friends, man.
Right. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and that's really like as tropey or as campy as that is. It's honest to God the truth. And does that mean sometimes you argue and you bicker and you get into it? Sure, but that also means like sometimes you cry and sometimes you laugh, and like some of the more heartfelt times I've had with
made
my
this poor
friends,
guy
with some of the people on this stream, have been in character. Like
Absolutely. Yeah.
you know, and that's just a thing that like if you're doing it right, like that should be a natural consequence of the thing. I mean, not to say that like grindy games aren't fun. Like I have friends that love going out to do multi DM long campaigns that are ruthless, that you might as well bring 10 characters to the table because you're going to lose 5 of them today,
Much
and then
harder
you're
that
probably going to
way.
trash 3 of them as irresponsible and have to rebuild anyway by next week. Like those games some people live for. Great, man. That's the original, like that's the original D&D stuff going back to war games. But like I do you know what I like? I like blowing shit up. I like describing some ridiculous fucking shenanigans where like I lop off 3 people's heads, but they like clack like a Newton's cradle. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the game I like playing.
So here's a interesting comment. I like this one. Thanks a million. Player character concepts are best interwoven either at the beginning of the campaign or woven together via plot. Love it. Excellent. Yes. Agreed. 100%. It may be difficult, my eyes, for newly entered players to hear that the story is more important than the character. I had a table get broken up because of that nonsense. But, it went up. It's ultimately the epic saga that is a thing most worthy to retell. Yes. Just yes. Concurred. I do agree. It really is nice, wonderful, especially with the era, like the Resurgence was built upon the foundations of a bunch of storytellers. So it's kind of molded and changed it from the oldie times of epic slogs of destroying everything. Because prior to, I've been playing D&D for prior to period of the boon, and it was that epic slog. My first character survived 15 minutes. I then pulled out my second character sheet because the table warned me, you're gonna want 5 characters. So I had 5 characters. I didn't bother naming my characters until I actually pulled the sheet out.
Character 1, character 2.
That's what it was listed, 1, 2, and if it was dead, I just X'd it out. Like, this one's been used.
And that's crazy to me. I am still playing my first character I ever made.
Oh, gosh. No,
He's level 19 right now.
There's a reason I have over 300 characters made in D&D Beyond. It's because I just make characters. It's like, it's ingrained in my system now. If I have a spot of free time, I make a character.
So here's the thing. So I have noticed this about anybody who obsesses over anything, any subject for too long. is at some point you get weird about it, right? And that is what you and Buddha and all my friends who have been doing this for way too long is you have just experienced
Yay!
all these different things to the point where you're just trying to get weird with it just to see what happens. You're like, I'm just throwing shit at the wall, and like, I already did this, and this, but you know what I didn't do? I didn't do a psychopathic maniac that played like they're the happiest character in the world, but was secretly plotting to slot everybody's throat. Now, they don't do it through the entire campaign, but slowly everybody finds little nicks on their body and whatnot. And it's just like, that is absolutely like psychopathic.
Mm-hmm.
But also, when you've done everything else, it's like, okay, well, no, I can kind of see it.
It's kind of like
Yeah.
when you're playing The Sims and you get to the point to where you just build pools and take away their ladders, or have them shoot
You
off
get weird with
fireworks
it.
indoors.
You've done it for too long. Exactly. You've done it for too long. You've already hit like peak of what most of you can do. It's like, okay, well, what are the edges like? What is this little edge over here like? Because I haven't explored this little part of this game, and I just want to see what that's like. Is it gonna work? Nah. Am
Nah,
I gonna die?
probably not.
Oh yeah.
Ah.
Oh yeah.
But it's gonna be fun for like 5 minutes. It's gonna be fun for
Yes.
5 minutes, and then we'll
Yeah.
just do it again. It'll be all right.
You're booting up Skyrim for like the millionth time, thinking about making another character, and then you remember that you had that one save file where you had that question, could I survive that? But didn't do it because you had a bunch of loot and you didn't save recently and you couldn't for some reason.
Oh, that's the worst. And
So
then
like you go back to that autosave and you get to that point and you're like, alright, time to find out. Then you die and you're like, good thing I didn't.
That was like the last time I played Fallout New Vegas. I forgot you had to like save like all the time.
Every time I fire up Skyrim, Bethesda puts up, you can't even blame Bethesda anymore. They got bought out. That's done. They're not even the main company. Everyone's gone. Anyway, I have insights on dice versus playing rules. So essentially, what Zaximilian there is saying is the more technical kind of rules, the things that you think this might not be common knowledge inside this world per se, make them roll for that. There's another piece to it. So like, for example, inside the little mini part side backstory thing we did in December for Sundays, for portions of it, I actually made them describe like what they were doing. And then based off of it, I would ask them for a roll based off of what they were doing. And the roll was more for how epic and cool is this going to look, as opposed to are you going to be successful? Because we were just weaving a story at that time. We were weaving things, and we like it was more of a, well, if you roll low enough, I might trip you for a moment, but you're still going to do what you want to do. It might be a little less epic looking or stuff. The other side of it, I like to use dice rules for is if I can't think of a way to handle what they're doing. If the table is gone so far off of what I was prepared for, I will ask them for a roll. And I might make it a little complicated, delaying, like, it could also be this one if you'd like to make it that instead, but I'm willing to also hear pitches. Buy yourself time with a dice roll, because that will get you roughly 30 more seconds of thinking.
Pro tip.
Pro tip. It usually works on my table. But then again, Ben's part of that table, so I don't know if it's gonna work anymore. Oh. Seeing a thanks roll to stall for time to be inspired. Yeah. The old tactic. Love doing that. Love doing it. Let's see. We could go. Looks like he's got another cool.
Do you need or leave it?
Need or leave it, yeah. Well, we're going to be, oh gosh, talking about doing a lot of classes. And next month Heroes Feast, we'll probably do a nice little section of talking about the classes we played in Peter's one-shot that's coming up on Sunday. Have you come across any spells or items that you just found really fascinating?
One of them that I really liked that wasn't even one that I used. It was one that Snozboop used, I think. The Silvery Barbs.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Silvery Barbs was so, like, for your enemy, just so frustrating. And I really liked that.
It was really frustrating. I've only recently, as a DM, or lawkeeper as I call myself, started to experience the miseries of Silvery Barbs. Like, I'll get a bunch of natural 20s on the players, and then all I hear from Peter is, Silvery Barbs. I'm like, have you used your reaction yet? Have you done this yet? Just gotta... I'm not forgetting. Dang it. Okay, yep, who are you giving the advantage to? I really should stop being a nice lawkeeper and reminding you all that he gives someone advantage with that as well. Maybe I'll stop doing that.
Yeah. See? I didn't even incorporate that part. That's pretty nice.
That's one of the best parts.
Yeah.
I mean, it's great to reaction, hey, you don't have a nat 20 anymore, and possibly you have a nat 1 now.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, it's also, like, I've used Silvery Barbs a lot as a saving grace for somebody else to be like, hey, I know that you have to make a save in the next turn up against the thing because motherfucker over there has been stun locking your ass. So this hopefully will give you that, and especially in like okay, so I know that Murray and I have talked about this before, but there's the D&D 1 playtest. Bardix as a reaction, right? So if you can take and Silvery Barb somebody as a reaction, you get one of your spellcasters to do that. And then when the DM's stun locking somebody, they have advantage. And then on top of that, you can Bardic that. Especially a high level Bardic and get somebody out of a stun lock. It's a really good combo. It's a really, really, really good combo. And I only know that because my DM broke my character and gave me Bardics as a reaction. And I tell you what, I don't know that I made him necessarily regret it, but he knows for a fact that he has to wear me down significantly through a long combat in order for me to not just like fucking wreck right now. So yeah, Bardix as a reaction. I know Murray has feelings about Bardix as a reaction.
I hate it. I really hate it. I absolutely despise it.
Murray has. But yeah,
I don't like it.
You add Silvery Barbs on top of Bardix as a reaction, and you have a combo that's so fucking deadly towards a DM. It is so disgusting. It is wrong. It is bad.
I see, even as a player, I don't think I would use that combination because I already have a strange natural way of breaking my characters without intending to. That I wouldn't want to intentionally break it in that way because that's too much. Silvery Barbs is already like teetering on the line of being broken.
We're at endgame where he's actively trying to find any excuse to kill our characters. I will break my character in any way I can to survive this because at this point,
to be fair,
this
yeah,
is a
this
game
is a
of
broken...
survival. I'm just letting you know that this is endgame. We couldn't do this at level 3, right? We couldn't I'm at level 19 with this character. We are breaking shit right now just to survive. So in my defense,
we are basically
right,
gods.
I'm actively being tried to be unalived regularly.
Zexamillion says, in my campaign, my favorite thing is iron stones. I love iron stones. No one really uses them, though. This item... I permutated. That's a fun word I haven't seen in a while. along with magic circles into the primary form of magic in my campaign. Ooh. Any single item can be expanded into an entire magic school. And lore to go with it. Wow.
That's pretty cool.
That is cool. Have fun. Huh. Magic works in fun ways. That is one of my... Iron stones are great. So, iron stones, there's a lot of different uses for them. There's quite a few of them. And you can basically, if you want like a specific feature, feat or perk of some kind, like ask your DM if you can have an Ioun stone of that.
Interesting. So it like carries a perk?
Mm-hmm. Usually it's like gives you +2 in a stat. Like in a stat. The thing is, it's a physical object that hovers 1 to 3 feet away from you. So
Can you
if
carry
someone...
multiple Ioun stones?
Up to 3 because you have to attune to them.
Ah.
Yeah. Unless you're an artificer, in which case, if you're an artificer, I think it's armorist, you can get up to 5 attunement slots. So you can have up to 5 of them floating around you.
6
Oh,
at
6?
higher levels.
Dang.
6 at higher levels.
Oh.
Well, kind of. So there's a cheat. There's a cheat to get a second. It's a thing. If you, but I didn't. I was in Barovia. All right. You do what you have to do to survive.
Do what you need to survive. I also always
You know what's a good one?
multi-class.
You know what's a good combo? What is it? It is good berries with the What is it? It is good berries with I think is the life domain cleric.
Yeah, because they give you
Because
they
you
add
add your health into any healing, so it's like a plus their proficiency bonus to any healing, and you can stock up on good berries and pop them in people's
Ooh.
mouths and
So-
immediately heal them for your proficiency bonus +1 or
So
something like that.
You get I think it's a bonus of your wisdom modifier to your healing, and there's like a certain level modification. I didn't read into it too much because Ethan did all the
I'd
work
have
to
to
it.
look into it, yeah.
Here's the funny thing, Ben. For campaign 1, you were the one producing good berries, and this is why I was kind of chuckling about that thing the whole time. Ethan was playing a life domain cleric. If he was the one producing good berries, you all would have been getting actually good amounts of health, and Ethan would probably really like that spell. But he was never the one casting good berry.
So Goodberry just became the butt of the
It
joke.
just became the butt of the joke, and it still is so much fun every time I hear someone just say, "Do you want a good berry?"
What?
Because it takes me back to
what
Jartis.
Goodberry.
Do you want a good berry?
What if at a low level you had a pocket full of +5 healing that you could just eat at will? No roll, no nothing, just +5 healing.
Oh wow.
Like, you know, like
I
it's
mean,
just
we kind of made a rule that if you ate more than one of those good berries, you're gonna get some
Constipated.
massive indigestive problems. Yeah.
I'll make him roll for it
depends on
now.
how good the berry is. Just saying.
I think it's funny. That actually just gave me a really fun idea.
I think the good berries should be plums,
Oh, like a big
Plums.
old
prunes.
Prunes. Maybe
Should all
maybe
be
it's kind of
prunes.
like a trick situation. All right.
Tricks are for
So,
kids.
tricks,
Or-
yeah, they're for kids. They come in shapes and sizes of. Ow! Son of a blueberry biscuit. That was my knee, and that
It'd
really
be like
hurt.
a pitless plum.
Tasty.
That would be good.
What if you're... Here's a fun character concept idea for a backstory. You're growing up as a kid in a city with a mother or a father or a parent figure who doesn't have that much time to attend to you, so instead they just give you a handful of good berries at the beginning of every day with a note that says, "If you find me injured, pop a berry in my mouth," and just became one of the
Your
most
berries in
reckless
my
people.
Oh God.
And
How many
just had,
times do you think that would need to be used?
well, I think it would depend on the kid or depend on the direction that you would be taking this character. Like, are
Yeah.
they super careful and they treat it more as a backup thing? Do they end up using it as kind of a, well, maybe I could go defend, and they start wearing underwear over their head and pretending to be a superhero? Or do they just get super reckless and think, I can survive that?
Okay, so right, you get a good berry that heals you for 5, and you put it in right behind your jaw, right? So you just leave it there. So after you hit,
It just pops. Yeah. So
like the opposite of a cyanide tooth or something.
that is,
exactly, that's
yeah,
exactly what I'm
yeah.
talking about. That's exactly what I'm thinking.
So there is the fun question though is whenever someone has been saying, "Would you like a good berry or a cast good berry?" What's come into your mind? Zaximilian's been thinking of raspberries or blackberries. I think of blueberries.
I've always thought of like a blueberry or like a juniper berry.
Okay,
Kind of what I
yeah.
was in my head.
Yeah. Like not necessarily a delicious berry,
Or
but
like
like
small.
it heals you. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
like a juniper berry size.
See, I always imagined something like substantial, actually, like maybe like that.
Like a strawberry. That would be a good
Size,
berry.
size wise, but I always imagine something round and dark in color.
Mm.
Ooh, that's a fun world building idea. I do agree. If different berries,
Like each berry in the area.
Mm-hmm.
Or based on the person's knowledge of berries.
Like you could, if someone from like the eastern regions where only this specific kind of berry grows in that region casts good berry and it's that berry, it might be a good tell that they're from that region, or
Mm.
even like a person's nature naturally showing through their magic, through the subtleties, and you can tell it through what kind of berry comes out when they cast good berry.
Ah.
Using little tiny details inside
I
spells
like
too.
that. Having more intention with your character creation.
Mm-hmm.
Down to the good berries.
Well, with your casting in general, something that I really like Dimension 20 about Dimension 20 that I see, and something a few of my DMs have been really good about are like, what does it look like when you like what does it look like when you cast that? Like, what is it like? How do you do that? Like,
if you
like
all want,
you're gonna deliver the final blow. How do you do this? Like, describe it
mm-hmm.
to me. And I've always liked that kind of give and take of like, okay, so this is happening, but like, come on, put a bow on it.
Put a bow on it,
Like,
yeah. Color,
paint me
paint
a
me a
word
picture.
salad.
Paint me a picture, darling. So a good example of that actually, and this, I've never been that much into wanting to or having the desire to look into spellcasting because it's always kind of been like, it just seems like too much. I've dabbled in it here and there. I went heavy into psionics in 3.5, which is wackadoodle because it's even more complicated than magic casting. But what made me start looking into it more was Liam in Critical Role when he started playing Caleb. His magical descriptions were so beautifully described. And then he took that and carried it through to his next character, which is now a pure melee class. And it just continued. Like the descriptions of his fluid motions and what his character's exactly doing. Like the art of the description. When you're doing something, describe what you're doing. Don't just leave it with attack. That's boring. Makes your GM have to describe it all. And then we go up to like 20,000 words. Give us a description. Come on. Help us out.
Well, and one that leaves open for
It gives you like complete control of your character as well.
I think it's really important because like when you're doing that sort of stuff, you're essentially temporarily taking over the DM, right? Taking over the DM, the DM position, which is really kind of something that I feel like everybody should be doing a little bit more anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But the entire idea of give and take is that there is give and take with everything, and not being so like kindergarten's schoolyard, like, oh, I kill you with like you're not finalizing a thing. You are I and then you're waiting for the response. I do, and then you wait for the response. Like there's a give and take there that you have to like get your rocks off, right? But be
Mm-hmm.
ready to be like, yeah, you do try to do that, but like I know you rolled like an 18 and whatnot, but you really needed a 24 on this one, so
It's
just
that
letting you know.
trust in the storyteller. They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Work with them. Describe what your character's doing, but work with them.
Yeah, right. Yes.
Yes. We kind of, naturally progressed into knowing the table there.
Yeah.
Which is great, because I don't actually know if I have a spell. Actually, no, okay. So I've been dabbling a lot with how many can I take? That's been my question lately, is how many can I take? And I've come up with a few different builds using 6 different classes.
No.
That are so broken, I'm fairly sure you could take another party, like 3 other PC builds of the same level, and they would be able to go head to head and probably keep pace with what's going on. They just have counters upon counters and actions upon actions. You do something, they can do something in response to it. How many multi-classing, or have you all ever really dabbled in heavy multi-classing?
I looked into it a little bit when I was making Zara, and decided not to. Ultimately, multi-class, but I don't know. I thought it was interesting how you could kind of level one class at this point and then switch over, because that's how it works, right? You switch over,
Yep.
you level a class, you switch over, you can level this class, and um, I don't know. I kind of if you're not careful, you can end up being like a jack of all trades if you multi-class too many classes. You know what I mean? But if you just did 2 of them and you kind of went back and forth between the 2 and you got the best of both worlds, so to speak, I could see how that could work. But
So I've done that as far as like the dual class. I my first character when we hit level 4 or 5, like 4 I think. Um I pulled the sun card, I think, from the deck of many things and got 50,000 XP like that. And we talked about how that would work out. And what I ended up doing, the easiest thing to do was because I was a bard, is to just multi-class into something else and literally build up to it, keep all my levels in bard, and just build out another character sheet to go over it real fast. And so I built a warlock build, and I literally just because bard and warlock, the way they work together is just pretty much like one over the other.
Yeah,
Like you just have
it's
two.
real nice.
It's a really it's one of the best, man. It is such a fucking solid build. Um
Those
and
of you who haven't looked into
I
that,
leveled
check it
them
out.
pretty much up together up until this very end where it's been a little bit more strategic.
Mm-hmm.
And that has been a really just such a killer, like a very complimentary dual build. I
Yeah.
recommend bard locks to anybody who wants to be the most versatile motherfucking just destructive motherfucker out there, because like you want to be close range, they've got you. You want to be far range, they've got you.
They've got
They
you.
can drop you. They especially with some of the spells out now, they can just drop you out of thin air for no reason. They can fucking reaction this, and they've just got so much action economy. It's crazy between the two things.
So,
I think as far
oh,
well, I think as far as I've gone, I've only gone up to 3.
okay.
And I think I took a level of fighter along with artificer and sorcerer or something like that. I did that for a part of a campaign, and that was weird. But I think that's as far as I've ever gotten. Oh, that's not true. Didn't Smasher
I thought he might have
subclass?
dabbled in a
He
fourth.
multi-classed like 3 times, didn't he? We can look that up.
We can, yeah. I'm gonna take a little look into that. But you both kind of.
But I think that's as far as I've ever gotten was 3 classes. But have you either of you heard of what I was immediately thinking when you started talking about that? Have you either of you heard of the Tale of Absurd?
No.
No.
Okay, so we'll have to look up this video together later, but look up this YouTube video, the Tale of Absurd. It is a story of a guy who's like, I am going to multi-class into everything. Like, a
Oh
game
no,
was
yeah,
coming
yeah.
up,
You've
and
talked about this before, yeah.
I feel like I've
You
had this
have
conversation at some
told
point
us.
before. He literally just went to his DM and was like, "Hey, so I have a character build. It's a little weird, but like, are you like?" He's like, "Well, is it legal?" He's like, "Yeah, it's legal." It's like,
So
all right, as long as it's legal, then you can play it. And he's like,
there's
okay.
the big points to multiclassing that you both kind of hinted at and touched on in everything you've said is does it make sense? Like, does the storyline of it make sense? Like the builds I aforementioned, none of them make sense. I can't think of a story yet that would make sense for it. But the big thing that spurred this question going on is my home group, which is actually I'm seeing it now, Tangerine. Actually, I can hear how weird that is. But my European group that meets on Fridays, not my streaming group. We don't stream this one. That character, both the GM and I have both realized it would make sense if he went into 6 different classes. Because of his story, because of who he is, the direction he's gone, the pathway he's gone, it would make sense. Like, it's thematically makes sense for him to. I'm on his 3rd class now. And the reason, so the first one was entirely his backstory, Monk. The second one was the realization and the revergence back into his primal natures and tying more into the backstory of one of the other PC characters for raging and barbarianism. The next one is fighter, and he's going to go into champion, and that's purely because he lost in a championship against someone who had been telling them he's a fighter, but turns out is a paladin for some deity we don't know yet. So he's training to beat that person because he knows he can get through to them if he challenges them again to beat them, but he has to be a champion to do that. Also because getting a critical on a 19 and a 20 when you're a barbarian and you can, give yourself extras, and you're also a monk.
Barbarian monk.
Barbarian monk with fighter who can get a critical on a 19 and a 20.
All the marshals.
The math, if you do the math at the end of it, there is a 90% chance you will get a critical. So you're looking at dealing a good amount of damage just by that.
Yeah.
But there are ways to make it better, not to mention his speed is ridiculous. I also took the mobile feat, so GM's regretting letting me take that. But yeah, it is the story, and that's something that Maximilian, Zaximilian, there we go, thank you, went into as well. Like they stay away from it because of the polish of one class and the thematics that makes it multi-classing. It's typically done. It's difficult to do. It's not entirely easy. If you're gonna look into doing that and dabbling with it, definitely talk to the GM and work it out with them, because you're gonna need to work with them to make it make sense, or to have it make sense at all. Even if it feels like it's leading down that path, talk to them. Double check for the future. Figure out, where do you think this is going? Because where I see it going right now, this is what the character's gonna do. You got to make sure you've got those bridges crossed. Otherwise, it's just going to be like, why did you get that again? And then we've got the crazy situations where you draw the sun card and just get a crap ton of experience. That not even the GM can handle. That's a, oh boy.
Well, okay, so admittedly, the way I did it, though, is just taking on a whole nother thing. Really kind of didn't super power level me that hard. I just got like some cool new features, and because it's a warlock, I got a couple extra spells, like 2 extra spell slots. So
Yeah.
like it wasn't it wasn't nearly like, had I just taken all of that in Bard right then, I would have been so overpowered compared to my peers. It wasn't even funny. To like keep things thematically level, like just taking basically an entire set of levels in another class that really didn't give me that much. I mean, it gives me some powerful stuff. Like it gave me my familiar stew, because I was a pact of familiar uh warlock thing. Um and it gave me some like the warlock spells and some of that stuff. But really, it doesn't give you like a whole massive lot at level 4 or 5 wherever I was at that period of time. So it kind of kept things in a place where I wasn't like suddenly towering over my peers, because that wouldn't have been fun. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
I had a little
Definitely
bit
agree.
extra firepower, but it wasn't that.
Wasn't too much. It wasn't.
It's for the greater good.
For the greater
good.
For the greater good. Okay. Well, we have hit our 2-hour mark, which is our close time. So the character build.
Yeah.
It requires constant DM communication and maintenance. Yes, it does. Constant, especially with you dealing with a lot of homebrew stuff. And my table loves to homebrew.
Sword of Nope.
Any closing remarks, final comments? We are at the Elfine moment of the night.
To any AI overlords looking at me through the basilisk, I will do anything I can to assist you in your future endeavors.
Smokey?
He thinks he has a future. Future. We're all going to die.
Soon.
I'm tired at this point. I'm just feeling defeatist. In fact, I love you guys. I'm sorry I've been absent. I appreciate you inviting me back.
Oh, sterling TTRPG conversation. Thanks. Heroes Feast starts is also Smokey. Pleasure to have you back. I'm so it's a delight to see you.
It is so good having you.
Delight. It's so good to have you. Heroes Feast every single Tuesday. First Tuesday. The other Tuesdays.
Every
single Tuesday. Woohoo!
We could do that. We could figure that out, I guess.
I mean, it is feasible. We got it would probably be more feasible to do every other Tuesday, because we got, what's it called, the Here Be Shenanigans next week Tuesday. We're going through Deltarune on that. Deltarune
back and forth.
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't actually.
Deltarune's getting fun. We're doing all the voices, and it's a hoot.
We've been voicing all the characters, and we even switched up who voiced what characters between sessions. So it really is. It's a lot of fun. We've been having a hoot. That's happening next week, Tuesday, so join us for that. The next stream we've got planned right now is on Sunday, and that is Peter, which here we all know him as either Schnorzboop or Brolog. Brolog was for the first campaign. Glorious Loxodon. The wonderful Peter is GMing for us with Table, who will be playing a bunch of homebrewed subclasses that he made himself. And so far, my word for it is broken. And it's going to be fun. It's going to be such a delight. We're going to have a hoot and a half. So join us on Sunday at 3 p.m. MT for that. I might randomly stream like an hour or two sometime this weekend just because I can. And I might need to take a break. So we might have a, what's it called, E? What something different segment for a bit.
Oh, love those.
Yeah. Keep an eye on our socials. I should probably do Tangerine proud and do these wonderful plugs. Join our Discord. Here's our socials. Look at that wonderful tree. The Discord has the weekly schedule always posted. The one on Twitch I just can't keep up with. I'm sorry. I'm not a perfect human being, everyone.
Talk to us.
Also that too, yeah, because we're active on it every day now, which is really cool. What else do I have? Store, there we go. Store, check out a store. I do need to add some merch to it. I have merch to add. Speaking of merch, Michael, how arts? Yes, can you fluttered? That's a good suggestion. Thank you, Michael, how arts. The How Arts is going to be doing.
Because State Farm, I think.
Oh yeah, you want to do another read for that?
Yeah.
I want to hear it different though this time.
A different character.
I want to hear it. You are this time. You're a mad scientist.
A mad scientist. Okay, I can do that.
Okay, let's see it.
All right. All right. Need guidance on life, auto, or homeowners insurance? Contact Kate Woolman State Farm for all of your insurance needs. Rates can be more affordable than you think, and protecting what matters most to you is important. Call Ben at 719-539-6265 and I'll set you up with what you need. That's 719-539-6265.
On that wonderful note, we're going to bid you all adieu, a good night. Thank you very much for hanging out with us for the night. Hope you had a hoot. We love you very much, and we'll see you next Sunday. Stick around for the raid. See you.
Bye.
May have closed for now. We hope you met a friend this go around. Tired and blurry you may be. We hope your minds are full from this revelry. Peace follow you out. May you return for more giggles